to the channel. And today we'll be building not a bed frame, but a washer dryer platform. So you haven't been keeping up, we've actually been going through a laundry room remodel. That room is actually right next door to the shop here. And I will be finishing up a washer dryer platform for a, you guessed it, washer dryer. So I'm not actually starting this one completely from scratch. As you can see, we had a washer dryer platform in there already, but let me tell you, it was not pretty. So this is that platform that I got from it. There was some plywood on top that's actually behind me that I ripped off. Pretty much this is just what I'm starting with. If you're looking at building out one of these yourself, well, I mean, it's pretty simple. All you want to do is go ahead and build yourself a square form, put in cross pieces like this. Probably every 9 inches or so. A washer is pretty darn heavy, so you want it to be sturdy. And then from there, all you gotta do is put on your legs and you got your frame ready. I'm gonna go ahead and refurbish this one. I got some screws that are pretty loose. I'm gonna drill them in more. Normally I'd probably start all over, but it is still COVID times and wood is expensive. So every chance that I get to refurbish items or use existing stuff, I'm gonna take it because it's gonna save me a heck of a lot of money. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. I just gotta go ahead and tighten up some of these screws. Now we don't need pocket hole screws on this. It is fine just to screw it in this way. We're going to end up covering this up later. So we got all of our screws flush here. I'm also going to add another piece of 2x4 down below. The reason that we're doing this is because I'm going to put plywood up against this too, because I don't want this bottom area open anymore. I believe it's going to look a lot nicer to actually have an enclosed box. If you guys are interested in doing something like this, adding drawers to the bottom would also be a very good idea. For my setup, I'm going to have a large shelving unit right next to this, so drawers are a little unnecessary for me, but it would be a very good idea for people that are low on space. So I just gotta get this thing lined up. So not only are we putting pieces up front too, we're also going to do it on the side here. Don't worry about your quality of wood, it's getting covered up. Alright, so this next part I'm probably going to get some shit for. I'm going to end up reusing the plywood that was on here. Yeah, it looks pretty horrible. Listen, to buy a new one of these, it'd be like 25 bucks. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try and chip away this spot right here that it's rotted out. I'm gonna actually flip this around and put this so that it's gonna be behind the dryer. No one will be able to see it. So calm down and let me work my magic. Alright, so first I'm gonna sand this thing and see where we're at. Okay, I got some 80 grit on here. This is gonna really help bust through this nasty worn. It looks like there's almost glue on here too. It'll really help get through this stuff, and then we're going to see where we got from there. And here is just my thin sheet of plywood that I'll be putting around the edge. So we're going to cut it out. It's going to be, in my case, 73.5 inches long. And 12 inches. Sweet. Cut this in half. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part. To nail all these down. Make sure it's lined up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Later on, we're going to go ahead and put some trim on the edge of this thing too. Like need air. Reload. And now you can see as we put this front piece on why it was super important to make sure that these screws were all the way down and flush against the board, so that way this piece lays flush against that. And again, this seam up here is not perfect, but don't worry. Later on, we're going to put some trim on there to make it beautiful. So I ended up getting a different style plywood than what was originally on there. The lighter stuff is a lot cheaper. So my plan was to stain the whole thing. I don't know how that's going to turn out with 2 different color plywoods on there. So I'm just going to stain the bottom and then see how that turns out. And if it doesn't work out, hey, there's always paint. So we're just going to do some quick experimenting here and see how it turns out. Now I was going to put it back through the router table using one of these roundover bits to help curve off these sides here. But since this is already so small, a little bit of hand sanding will probably do the trick. But yeah, just with a little bit of hand sanding, you can see how it's no longer a sharp 90-degree corner right there. This is perfect for trim. Boom, made our own trim. And now that we got things sanded, I'm just gonna quick throw some stain on it before we install it. That is how you make some fresh trim. Alright, so our trim pieces are all nice and dry, and we're just going to line it up right here. I already did my 45-degree cuts on here. I measured them out, so what we're going to do is just line them up, make sure that they look good. And I have the wrong end. Right here, we're just going to take our nail gun and already you can see how this just side trim just covers up these joints and just gives it a much cleaner look. So I'm going to cut some more pieces out to do it right here, and then again on the other side too. And I mean, yeah, this is going to make it look great. Alright guys, so here's my washer dryer stand. I think it turned out really good, even with the top part being a different color. Something that I'd suggest is, yeah, actually adding some drawers underneath here. That would give it a pretty cool touch. You can put your detergent in there or something. But other than that, it looks really good. It adds to our laundry room quite a bit. So if you are in the need for something like this, go ahead and make it. I know I kind of cheated and started off with one. I gotta tell you, it looks a heck of a lot better now than what it did before. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.